Good day guys, AP Ashton here. I'm here to show you another great tutorial on Cinema 4D to the CryEngine 5 workflow. And that requires where I'm going to be showing you that I'm going to show you how we're going to have tiled it around the inside of the building, so you have an actually understanding of how to export a tiled object. Also even UV and making it look beautiful. So let's get started. Let's hop inside Cinema 4D, and what we're gonna look into is we're gonna start looking into this model that I made, this nice building. And also, if you want to follow me right now, you can download this. The project file is literally right in the link in the description. So you can hop in, quickly get it, and continue on watching it from here. So this nice, I would call this mechanic shop. What we're gonna do is, I already have material set, and I'm in centimeters, by the way. So I already have materials already made. These are just default materials, okay? So with these default materials, I'm just gonna start applying them onto my object, okay? So for example, you should also have these materials too. So I name them M3, M4, material 5, material 6, material 7, material 8. Alright, and I give them names, and this is mostly important out of this whole process, okay? Because when you get inside the engine, this is what the engine is going to actually read, these names of these materials. So I could have it mixed up, zigzag all over the place once these actually have its name, okay? So let's get started. First is, I want my building to have this nice whitish warm color. So I'm just going to say, hey, this is my outside walls. And if you want to know, I'm actually working inside quick shading lines, and I have normals on, so I could just always check to make sure everything is in the right location. Okay, everything's flipped on the right side, and also the inside walls is pretty much facing negative. So that's just giving you idea on how to pretty much, because if you just cut on your back facing, you pretty much cannot see the object. If I go down, you see, you cannot see the object. If I disable that, poof. Alright, so I'm just giving you tips on that one. So we already give our outside walls a color. Now our inside walls, I want this to actually have a material, but I need it to be tiled. So what I need to do is I have to delete the UV tag. You must delete the UV tag. You don't have to delete the prong tag, but I'm just going to delete those two any which way. So just delete it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy material 8, and I'm going to rename it 9. And this material, we're going to clear it. We're going to actually load an image for it. Just clicking these little 3 dots here, and we're going to use brick 15. No. Alright, so you notice I pretty much have my editor set already to 2K, so I can see my dasher clear inside the viewport. So what I'm going to do now is I just want to show you something. Now I could pretty much just apply it onto this like this, and you seeing it might look funny. If you select your texture tag and go to attributes, you can see that projector might be set on anything. You never know what it's set on. So just want to set it to cubic. And we have this nice detailed look already. Pretty clean, pretty decent. But I think it's too much. So what we need to do is we need to tune it down a bit and put 0.5. That is pretty much good enough for me. 0.5. So once you set 0.5, you are okay. Now, if you want to say, hey, I want this other part to have a different material, well, I'm still going to use the same material, but I'm going to show you that even polygon selection works. So I'm just going to select it and go to materials, and then I'm just going to drag it again. So now I have two materials. Now the problem is it went back to that same look. So all I need to do is just put in the same settings, or you could copy your settings and put it over. Just put 0.5, 0.5, and set it to cubic. Boom. And there you go. You got everything back in normal in place. Alright, so once you done do that, all you need to do is now is continue on and move on, and you could leave this alone. So next, inside roof. What do color I want it? So I'm just gonna give it two different colors. I'm gonna disable this one, and I'm going to give this orange, and then the top one I'm gonna give it a white. There you go. So since I didn't do that, now I can move on, and I'm going to give my garage frame an orange floor. I'm going to give it this nice blue. Let's make it a dark blue. Yeah, nice little dark blue. Apply that to it. Nice. For my walk part edge, yep, and I'm just gonna give the walk part a nice light green. Alright, that's good enough for me. And all we need to do now is pretty much just give the pole something. So what we could do for that is let's make them poles extra green, and we'll use 7, and we'll use 7 for pole in the middle. We'll give it that color. Yeah, there you go. So once you done do that, guys, you now pretty much have everything colored or UV'd or however you did it. Okay, just once you have names, you have them have the right names, everything is fine. And once you have how much it is, okay, for your model. Alright, so once you done do that, guys, let's move on to the next. First thing is your outside walls. You don't have, like I say, you don't have to, you could do this almost for all your assets. Like I say, it's different ways, but certain things might come out looking weird. So if I was going to do this, I would literally say, let me just make sure no UVs are overlapping. So I'm going to go to my UV editor mode, and if you have this layout, which the link will be in the description for the whole package, if you have this problem with your UI, just select these little dots here, drop it in there, and everything's set back. And what you want to do is, now you don't have no tag. So since you don't have no tag to touch this stuff, you need to actually click on the pink Visual Setup tool and deselect all. Inside that group, go to outside walls, hit next, and make sure recalculate UV. Yeah, hit next. This is what you might want to disable, the color. Okay. And you might want to disable the automatic and whatever's your texture type, but I mean that don't really matter. You just want to get the UI layout. So just hit finish, and you notice everything is perfect, no overlapping. So just hit close, and you can continue on. So what we can do now, we could actually export. Now the way I pretty much have everything set up, of course, you all know I actually have a full node, which is pretty much set to 0, which as Cinema 4D users know, you all know how to do. Okay, so that's set, and then I can pretty much just move this around. If I go in object mode, I can move this around, of course. Alright, So now all I need to do now is export as a DAE. Now it can do FBX and 3ds Max with the new CryEngine, but for right now DAE 1.4 is working perfectly. So you want to keep that in mind. Okay, and all we need to do now is just go to our project of our CryEngine project, and I have mine in a perfect setup, and then I have Simlan and asset, and then in my FCS asset I have importer models folder. I just created my own directory so I could just have everything in one location, and just gonna replace with this. Hit save. Yes, I want to replace it. Yep, and hit OK, and there you go. So I then export it, and the reason why I haven't choose the FBX is because I've tested out a lot. It worked once, but for some reason it's just not, the engine's just not reading the textures anymore for some reason. So I think it's a little glitch, but I can tell you one thing, DAE works perfect. So minimize, and let's hop into the engine. And let's go into Simlan. Alright. So, minimize. Alright, so I'm just going to come out of my geometry entity for a second and stay in this mode, because what's going to happen is when I do my importer, when you go inside your brush, you're going to have a second folder called assets and a bunch of assets, or you go inside here, your geometry entity, you'll have all the same things. So you don't want to do that. You want to stay out of the area when you're importing. So what you want to do is, now you want to open up a project or make a level. I'm going to hit open, pre-testing. And both. So this is what I have, and this will be pretty much just it. Let's see, everything comes out perfect. So now I was doing this. I don't know why the devil is this thing in front of me. I don't know, that's a glitch or something. Okay, do not mind that, guys. Alright, so we're gonna go to tool and go to mesh importer. Alright, and I'll just pick it up, and we're gonna hit import, and we're gonna find our project file in development, project folder, Simlan, asset, FCS asset, and import model, import. There you go. Alright, so once we then do that, guys, now what we can do is we could do now is we look, and you notice we have our material name here, right? Notice it's a sub material, so we have M3, M4, M5, M6, M7, M8, M9. Alright, so before we actually go to settings and apply our material so we can just drag it out, what we need to do is we need to minimize, and we need to go to our material editor here, and inside our FCS asset folder, what we need to do is we need to create a new material inside our FCS material area. And what we need to do, we need to add a new multi-material because it's multiple materials. So what we're gonna name this is, we're gonna name this Cry Cinema 4D 2 CE5 underscore map. Okay, and hit save. Alright, so now we have that, but we still cannot use it. So what we need to do, right click and say set numbers, set sub materials. Okay, so we basically have 7 if I remember clearly, and we're gonna hit OK. There you go. But the thing is, we need to actually give these material names. Okay, So what we need to do is hit select the first one and hit F2, and we need to name it M3. And see, sometimes it wouldn't even mind if I mix this up. If I say, hey, FM5 right now, both F2, M4. And I'm just gonna continue on like the right way on it. Now I gotta do it more in order. I just want to give you an idea. Just once you get to see material names, M6, and then you could say F2, M7, M8, and of course M9. Alright, so once we done do that, all we need to do now is, I really wish CryEngine allow you to select all of these and then you could just put in that specific material, but I have to do each one of these by hand. So I'm just going to find the asset and go to textures and go to default and select a default color, and it's white. There you go. So of course 3 is pretty much white, so but I'm going to change the color here. There you go, and that's the color of that. But what I could do, I could right click, copy, and before I even say copy, I could even also put concrete, so I'd have to do that for each one of those. So I can say now copy it and hit Control V for each one. Just hit cancel. Control V, 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 just hit cancel. And Control V, just hit cancel. And of course M9 would be made is actually our material, so let's get it and let's go to SCS assets, SCS textures, and brick 15. I already converted in Photoshop. So now since I already did that, I now could start giving M4 its tingham color. So let's give it its color. Let's go back to cinema, materials. Okay, so M4 is this dark blue, M5 is this yellow, M6 is this light green, M7 is this orange, and M8 is that harsh green. So what we need to do is we need to go back up, and since we're in M4, we need to give it that nice dark color, a nice dark blue. Sorry. There you go. M5. What M5 is again, guys? Alright, nice yellow. There you go. M6 is this light green, very light green. M7 is this orange. M8 is darker. There you go. So now since I have that, I now can select this and hit save, and there you go. So you select that and you hit save and everything is fine. Now I go back to perceptive group and I go to back to my mesh importer what was laid out. So now if I go to material now and I just wait for this to load up and go to materials and I see a CryEngine C4D2 CryEngine map. If you notice, everything's right there the same way. So now you said okay, and you're saying, hey, I'm not seeing anything. All you have to do is go to display settings, display options, and then just say, hey, show RC mesh, to see everything at the outcome. And it looks like everything is the same way we did it. Yeah, everything's okay. So now all we need to do, guys, is go here and say save, asset, models, and since I already have Mechanic Shop 1, I'm just gonna name this 2. And hit save. Alright, so let's just do that again, guys. Let's see, yes, models. Let's just say 2 UT. And both. Knock off this file here. I think. Alright. So what we need to do, guys, let's just save over it. Yes. Okay, good. So now since we already did that, it don't really ask you that because they know it's already there or whatever like that, but they know it's there. So sometimes you can save it even in your objects and, you know, just call it, give it a name and say GOGEMO, for example, and just hit save. You see, it worked. So if I do it one more time and I go in here, I think the problem is that I have the same similar name. So if I do this and I say, hey, it's not gonna name Mechanic Show, I'm just gonna give it GO, like go, or anything like that. It's gonna say another file location, of course. But we all know the other one basically went through, which is the output name GMO. So usually it works. Usually it just works wherever you want to set it. I don't know why that error is popping up. Like I said, it's still a little glitchy, but I'm gonna waste time on it. So I'm gonna X out now, and I'm gonna go to brush. And if you notice, it made a second asset folder. Now it's inside the actual original one just because I had this open up. And if I drag this out, see, same thing. And both. And there you go. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy. I pretty like it. And now I could just press play and play in it. If you notice, concrete, everything like that. Poof. And we have this one over here, which I already did already. And you know, you could drive and go to the next side. F. Press F to follow it, and I could drive to this side. Bye, driver. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Come out of it now. That's pretty much it. That's all you have to do to get your models out of Cinema 4D. Any which way you put it. I'm sure this method would work for other 3D applications like Blender or Modo or whatever. I mean, whatever you're using. But other than that, guys, thanks for watching. I hope that this helped you, and stay tuned for some more. I'm gonna be doing flow graph next, with this model next, where I'm actually gonna have the garage animation, and you know, you could control it, and then like changing colors of the building, stuff like that. That's the next on my list, next video coming up. So yeah guys, thanks for watching. I really hope that this helped you out in the best way. Like I say, don't worry about that letting the geo go to this folder. All you need to do is just go back to geometry, I think. Yeah, and it would literally be right in here. See, FCS, and your models will be right in here. So keep that in mind, guys. Have a good one, and have fun creating your environment. I hope y'all pretty much could get your job done by this tutorial. Now, knowing the fact that yes, I can export a tiled object. Alright guys, see y'all later, and have a good one, guys.